Hello there, thanks for joining me this Friday. I'm Azlina Naji and these are tonight's headlines. Prime Minister says it is not possible to have highways without paying tolls. Major contraband cigarette syndicate busted in Johor. At least 6 dead as Hurricane Michael tears through the US. Now we begin tonight's news with this story. A man and a woman were killed in an early morning accident along the New Klang Valley Expressway NKVE involving 3 lorries and a car. 7 others sustained severe injuries and were taken to the Sungai Buloh Hospital and the University Malaya Medical Centre PPUM for treatment. The 4 a.m. incident happened on the highway from Damansara towards the Subang Toll Plaza. Initial reports showed a cement trailer went out of control and entered the opposite lane after crashing through the road divider. 2 were pronounced dead at the scene by medical officers, while the rest who were injured were rushed to the hospital for treatment. The incident also caused heavy traffic congestion along the stretch due to the morning rush hour. Highway authorities reported the traffic jam was at least 10 kilometers long on either side as work progressed to clear the highway of the vehicles and debris. Bukit Aman police have busted a major contraband cigarette syndicate in Johor which uses luxury MPVs to transport the illicit goods. It was believed that this modus operandi was to avoid suspicion and detection by authorities. A total of 24 vehicles and 1,332 boxes of cigarettes with a total value of 9 million ringgit were seized in raids conducted at several locations in the early hours of Wednesday morning.
3 police raids were conducted in Mersing, namely a factory in Felda Tenggaroh 2, a house in Taman Johor Jaya and a factory in Nusa Jaya. In the operation, 23 suspects were detained, comprising 7 local men and 16 Indonesians aged between 24 and 46.
Ini adalah merupakan antara rampasan selain bilangan tangkapan dan juga rampasan yang terbesar yang kita perolehi dalam usaha mencegah penyeludupan barang-barang kontraban ini. Ada geng-geng tertentu yang terbabit. Jadi kita percaya bahawa dalam kes ini kita dalam siasat kita percaya bahawa ia merupakan salah satu sindiket terbesar di sebelah pantai timur Johor ini.
Of the 7 local suspects, 3 were still under remand until October 14th to facilitate investigations. The other 4 locals have been released on police bail, while all 16 Indonesians have been remanded for investigations under the Immigration Act, Customs Act and Dangerous Drugs Act.
Over in Selangor, police have crippled a syndicate which distributed drugs that have been mixed into various drinks, including a yogurt beverage of a well-known brand. Now, Bukit Aman Narcotics Crime Investigations Department (NCID) said the drug-laced drinks were sold at 250 ringgit per bottle in night spots around Kuala Lumpur and Selangor.
Hasil operasi ini, pihak polis telah berjaya menumpaskan satu sindiket memproses dan pengedaran dadah dalam bentuk serbuk yang dicampurkan dalam air minuman yang didalangi oleh rakyat tempatan. Pihak polis berjaya merampas pelbagai jenis dadah yang dipercayai untuk dipasarkan di pusat-pusat hiburan.
12 men believed to be members of the syndicate were also arrested after authorities conducted 9 raids at several locations since Wednesday. Various drugs worth 3.27 million ringgit as well as cash, vehicles and jewellery worth a total of 2 million ringgit were also seized. All those detained were remanded until Thursday for investigations under the Dangerous Drugs Act. Now, police have recorded the statement of a middle-aged man believed to be a dato who was caught on video berating and assaulting a car park attendant over an unpaid parking ticket. Brickfields District Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Ruslan Khalid said the man's statement was taken in Brickfields and that the investigation will be referred to the Deputy Public Prosecutor. He said the case was classified as legal summons, which means an arrest cannot be made without a warrant under Section 323 of the Penal Code. Yesterday, police confirmed that a closed-circuit television CCTV recording of the incident, which had gone viral on social media, was related to the case. According to the parking attendant, the Datuk didn't want to pay the RM3 parking fee and began to lash out when he refused to raise the exit boom gate at the parking lot. The parking attendant then lodged a police report a day after the incident on September 19th. Meanwhile, UMNO has rubbished claims that its headquarters were raided by two local authorities, including the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC, on Friday morning. This follows several pictures circulating on social media showing a group of men with piles of papers occupying a U-shaped conference table at the party's administration office. UMNO Executive Secretary Datuk Sumali Ridwan, in a media UMNO report, was quoted as saying that the pictures were that of UMNO staff updating and rearranging files. He added that UMNO would continue to cooperate with any parties in any situation. Dr. Mahathir Mohamad says it is not possible to have highways without the imposition of toll collection. The Prime Minister revealed that he was against the toll-free highways pledge in the Pakatan Harapan election manifesto.
So Dr. Mahathir said the only way to have freeways and toll-free roads is to raise the price of petrol, but that will burden the people.
Now we are the government, and this manifesto is a big burden. And for example, they want to do away with toll. You do away with toll. Who's going to maintain the road? Who's going to build a new road? If you tell the private sector to build a road, they want to make money, but no toll, how can you make money?
Elaborating on the matter, the Premier asked who would maintain the roads or build new roads if the government does away with toll collection.
You cannot. The only way to have freeways, no toll, is to raise the price of petrol. In England, no toll roads in England, but they charge a very big tax on petroleum.
Previously, Dr. Mahathir had said that the PH government will need to review its pledges, as some of them would impose great losses if implemented. He was speaking to local media at the conclusion of the inaugural ASEAN Leaders Gathering in Bali on Thursday. The meeting, held on the sidelines of the annual meetings of the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the World Bank, carried the theme Achieving Sustainable Development Goals, SDG, and Overcoming Development Gap through regional and global collaborative actions. This is Dr. Mahathir's second visit to Indonesia since becoming the Prime Minister for the second time after Malaysia's historic general election in May and the first engagement at the ASEAN level ahead of the 10-member group summit next month in Singapore.
The Port Dickson by-election result is expected to be announced before 10 p.m. tomorrow. According to the Election Commission EC Deputy Chairman Tan Sri Othman Mahmud, the result can be announced earlier if there is no problem with the vote counting process. Farah Nabilah Wazir has the report.
A total of 68,317 people will fulfill their responsibilities as voters tomorrow. 1,403 EC personnel will be on duty to ensure that the voting process runs smoothly in 32 polling centres with 154 channels.
Kita akan cuba umumkan keputusan itu paling tidak lewat daripada pukul 10 malam. Kalau kita dapat awal, insya-Allah kita akan umumkan lebih awal. Ya? Terpulang pada keadaan besok lah. Kalau tak ada apa-apa masalah, insya-Allah kita akan umumkan lebih awal daripada pukul 10.
When asked about voter turnout tomorrow, Tan Sri Othman said he remains optimistic with the early expectation of 70% turnout.
Heavy rain is predicted in the evening on the polling day tomorrow, so the voters are advised to go out early to cast their ballots, although the polling time has been extended from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m.
Tan Sri Othman was met after inspecting the ballot boxes and observing the distribution of voting equipments to the polling station head in the Port Dickson Administrative District this morning. He also stressed that any forms of persuasion to canvass votes from outside the polling stations or via social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and others are prohibited, where action will be taken against those initiating it. Farah Nabila Wazir for 7 Edition.
Now, a total of 800 police officers and personnel will be deployed for the Port Dickson by-election tomorrow. District Police Chief Superintendent ID Sham Mohamad said all of them comprise policemen and traffic police personnel from the PD Police Headquarters as well as the State Police Contingent.
Pihak polis diraja Malaysia, Port Dickson khususnya berada pada tahap kesiapsiagaan yang tinggi bagi menghadapi PRK P132 Port Dickson. Segala persiapan merangkumi sumber manusia dan logistik adalah mencukupi. Pihak polis juga akan membuat pemantauan yang menyeluruh bagi kawalan keselamatan di pusat-pusat pengundian agar ianya berjalan dengan baik, lancar dan terkawal tanpa sebarang insiden.
He added there will be no road closure by the police tomorrow. However, road diversions will commence from 6 p.m. onwards in certain areas. Traffic and PD is also expected to be congested until 10 p.m. To ensure the voting process runs smoothly, authorities also said party supporters need to be at least 50 meters away from the vicinity of any polling station. Now, about 68,000 voters will be going out to cast their ballots tomorrow in the Port Dickson by-election, and in just a few hours, the campaigning period will come to a close. Previously, the EC expected a 70% voter turnout for this by-election, but judging from the low turnout in the last 3 by-elections in Selangor, there's fear that this poll would not be any different. And now to give us a little insight from the ground, let's cross over to our reporter there, Farah Nabila Wazir. Hi, Farah. So tonight we'll be seeing some last-minute campaigning strategies from all the candidates. Now, what have you seen or heard so far, Farah?
All right, thank you so much, Lina, in the studio. So in less than 4 hours before the campaigning period ends at 11:59 p.m., all candidates are now utilizing every second, every minute of their time to, to get their support from the Port Dickson voters. And tomorrow at 8 a.m., voters will stations to cast their ballots for their new assemblyman. So right now I'm at the PD waterfront, specifically in front of the main operation room of the PKR candidate Datuk Sri Anwar's operation room, and Datuk Sri Anwar is expected to deliver his speech here, as you can see behind me, at about 8:30 p.m. as a part of his campaigning approach. And just now I also followed some of the independent candidates in the morning, knocking on doors, embracing people and making speeches to ensure they get from the people in PD. And as of now, the past candidate Lieutenant Colonel Nazari Mokhtar is at the night market in Bandar Baru Sunggala for a walkabout, while former and also independent candidate Tan Sri Issa Samad is now currently at Teluk Kemang Mosque to perform prayers and spending time with the people there. And as for other independent candidates, it was understood that they had to cancel most of their activities today due to heavy rain. Lina.
Okay, so far, apart from the candidates, so you've had a chat with some of the voters there. What are their expectations for the candidates or even parties contesting?
Yes, Lina, after meeting and also speaking with the voters and speaking to them earlier in the morning, most of them wish that the new PD MP will help rebuilding PD to become a more developed town. And voters also want to see big changes in terms of development, in particular in the tourism sector. And yesterday I spoke to the water spot owner in Teluk Kemang Beach, and he said nowadays come to PD to spend their holidays. So I think this is one of their main concerns, to promote PD as a tourism spot. And besides that, the voters also want more job opportunities in Port Dickson. Lina.
Okay, so far, the voters' turnout for the last 3 by-elections after G14 were quite low. So looking at how the campaigning period has been going so far in Port Dickson, does it seem that maybe the Anwar factor can bring out more voters tomorrow? What do you think?
Yes, Lina, as we all know, the voter turnout for the by-election in Sungai Kandis, in Balakong and also in Seri Setia was the lowest for the past 9 years. And according to the Election Commission, Balakong had a voter turnout of only 43%, while only 44% of voters vote in Seri Setia. And Sungai Kandis also recorded only 49.8% voter turnout. However, the Election Commission is still optimistic that tomorrow 70% of the voters will go out to cast their ballots for the PD parliamentary seat election. And I think that is very possible to be achieved because previously, as we all know, Pakatan Harapan chairman and also the Prime Minister Tonton Mahathir Mohamad had been campaigning for Datuk Sri Anwar here in PD, and I'm sure that that is one of the reasons why people would go out tomorrow to vote for Anwar, not only Anwar but other candidates as well. And I think that Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad's presence here in PD the last few days would definitely boost the voter turnout for tomorrow. And some of the voters that I spoke to earlier also said that they welcomed Datuk Sri Anwar as the PD MP, and they said that it would be a huge loss if people do not vote for him because he will be the, how do we say, the Prime Minister in waiting and also the 8th Prime Minister. So, yeah, Lina.
Thank you so much, Farah, for those updates. Now we're going for a short break. When we return, trailer driver high on drugs in Menorah Tunnel crash charged. Don't go away. Now here's some court stories. A trailer lorry driver claimed trial at the Kuala Kangsar Magistrates Court to a charge of driving under the influence of drugs, which caused the deaths of 5 people last Saturday. 41-year-old Muhammad Zaidi D was charged under Section 444-1 of the Road Transport Act. He faces a jail term of up to 10 years and a fine of between 8,000 and 20,000 ringgit if convicted. Magistrate Nur Hidayah Muhammad Saad set November 9th for mention and ordered Muhammad Zaidi's driving license to be suspended. 5 people, including a baby boy, were burnt beyond recognition in the accident involving a trailer lorry and a car on the North-South Expressway after the Menorah Tunnel. Their identities were confirmed yesterday after police received results of the DNA testing. Over in Pulau Pinang, the High Court today rejected the review application of the court's decision in acquitting and discharging former State Chief Minister Lim Guan Eng and businesswoman Pang Lee Kun on corruption charges. Judge Dato' Hadariah Said Ismail said the complainant, a Facebook account holder known as Muhsin Abdul Latif, had no locus standi to file the application. In her ruling, Dato' Hadariah said she initially allowed Muhsin the application for hearing to present his rationale on the need for a review. However, the application had to be rejected after taking into account that the applicant is a complainant in the case and not the accused. The judge also cited Article 145 of the Federal Constitution, whereby only the Attorney General has the power to conduct or discontinue any proceedings for an offence and not the court. For criminal cases, she said, any dissatisfied parties could file an application at the Court of Appeal. Outside the courtroom, lawyer Gunamalar Jurindaj, representing the complainant, said she would file an appeal at the Court of Appeal in Putrajaya soon. Mohsin filed the application middle of last month to obtain an order for the Lim and Pang's acquittal and discharge to be reviewed. On September 3rd, the court acquitted and discharged Lim and Pang of corruption charges related to the purchase of a plot of land and a bungalow above market price. This following an application by Deputy Public Prosecutor Datuk Masri Muhammad Daud through a representation submitted by the defence to the Attorney General's office to have both Lim and Pang fully acquitted of the charges on July 6. Now, there was a time when just one camera on your smartphone was considered cutting edge, but then there were two. Now, Samsung has unveiled the world's first quad camera on the rear of its latest smartphone, the Galaxy A9, which promises a revolutionary experience in mobile photography. The phone's 4 cameras are arranged vertically. The first camera has an ultra-wide lens with scene optimization and uses artificial intelligence to help with scene recognition. The second camera has a telephoto lens with 2 times optical zoom, while the third is the main camera with 24-megapixel resolution. As for the bottom camera, it allows users to capture depth of field and focus.
Yeah, so the new A9, Galaxy A9 has 4 cameras. It's the world's first quad camera in the rear end. So in the back side, there's 4 cameras. So that's main camera, telephoto lens, ultra-wide camera, and depth camera. So it allows users to go anywhere at any time to capture the most brilliant and most absolutely perfect photo that they want. Yeah.
So if you've ever fancied becoming a professional photographer, you're a step closer to becoming one with the Samsung Galaxy A9. The smartphone has a long-lasting 3,800 mAh battery that promises smoother usage and can last 1 full day without charging. The Galaxy A9 also has an internal storage of 128 gigabytes and an additional memory of up to 512 gigabytes. The design is also ergonomical with curved 3D rear glass back casing.
So Galaxy A9 has 3 colors right now. It's the caviar black, it has the bubblegum pink, and it has the lemonade blue. With the lemonade blue and bubblegum pink, it has a gradients color, so it goes from soft to dark in the backside, which looks amazing.
On Thursday, the President and Chief Executive of Samsung Electronics IT and Mobile Communications Division, DJ Koh, launched the Samsung Galaxy A9 in Kuala Lumpur. Apart from the Galaxy A9, the A7 series, which features 3 cameras and a fingerprint scanner, was also launched. Both models will be made available in the market by November. To find out more, you can visit the Samsung website.
Personal, intelligent experience.